Hi everybody, it's me Corey, here with my MPC Live 2 and my little Juno emulator, and I'm here in front of Safeway at night, and I thought I'd show you how to hook up see, we got a car right there. Thought I'd show you how to hook up an external synthesizer into your MPC, trying to do it live outside. So, first things first, let's talk about the connections. So we have the output of the MIDI on the MPC running into my Juno emulator. Now I want to sequence my Juno from my MPC. I have an audio output from my Juno that's running into my MPC because the audio from here I want to get into here. So first of all, let's just lay a little drum track. So that'll be great for just having a tempo when we start playing. So we're at 4 bars right now. Okay, so that's a really simple drum, but we're just doing that because we're trying to get this working. So the next thing I have loaded up is a MIDI track. So if you want to get to the MIDI track, you click right here, and you can click, it's already got the MIDI, but this is where you would click and select MIDI. So we have our MIDI output running from output A into this device here. So now let's listen and see if we can get sound playing from out of here into here. Okay, we don't have any sound, but we do have the MIDI going. So let's click and let's add a new audio track. Let's turn the monitor to auto, and then we're gonna go into the ins and the outs, and we know that we wanna do input number 2 because everything's running at input number 2, and we need to turn this off. So let's go in here to the MIDI. Okay, now we can hear what we got going. So let's record this. Let's record this in. This noise sounds good to me. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. That's a first step. That's a nice little melody. So let's add a new audio track. Again, we're gonna go to auto. We're gonna press multi-record, and this one as well. We're gonna click on input number 2. We're gonna turn this input off so we can start sequencing. Now, I think we should pick a bass. And I think there's a pretty cool bass. That's a pretty cool sounding bass to me. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna go back here. We're gonna go to our MIDI track again, same MIDI track. Got a bus coming by? It's part of doing things live, part of making beats live. So we're gonna go in here. Since we're on here, we press record, and we're gonna record everything in. That sounds pretty cool. I'm liking the sound of this. I'm liking the sound of this. Now we're starting to get a real beat grooving and going. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna press a new track again. We're gonna say audio, press on the multi-record, go to the ins and outs. We're gonna run it as input number 2, turn the recording off on this device right here. And this time, when I go back into the MIDI track, I'm gonna press this button right here, and it's gonna give me options on playing chords because now I wanna get a nice pad. I wanna get a nice pad in this beat. So we're gonna go in here and let's hear how it sounds. So that's a bass. So let's go to the third. I can't see what these are named, so this is one thing that's not as efficient as making music just all in the box, but I think these sounds sound really cool. Okay, so we're not getting a noise. And that might mean that I forgot something. I forgot to turn monitor from off to auto. So let's go back to MIDI. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is a little trick that's going to add a little bit of variation. So let's go in here and let's double the length again, and now we're at 8, and let's double it one more time. And now we're at 16. So now we can start getting the feeling of a song. But let's go here. Maybe let's try a different sound. Okay, I like the sound of that. That sounds kind of weird. So let's go ahead and let's record this in over 16 bars and let's play around with the effects. Okay, sorry if I've been peeking out. I just checked my levels. Might be a little bit peaked out on this one, but that's pretty cool. That has kind of the sound of a full song. So if we want to, we can go in here, and right here is the MIDI track, so you don't need to bring that in and out. If we press time control and use time division, put it on one bar, we can bring things in and out as we want. So the cool thing is, now that we've taken it out of the box, we can't affect it live, but what I could do, if we go to audio track number 1, and let's go to the effects, let's go in here and we can add some of those cool effects that we have on this device in here. So let's go to diffuse delay, and I say let's do, not melodic companion, let's go in and let's do, I think slapback will sound cool. And let's go here. Okay, maybe not slapback, let's try a weirder one. That sounds pretty weird. Let's try some different ones. Okay, so I think that that's a cool one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press Shift plus step sequencer, and now this is gonna let me automate what I'm doing. So let's see if this works. Okay, so now you see everything is automated in here, which is pretty great. So I can get the same effects that I was getting on this device in here. So I say let's add one more layer, and then I think we're done. So let's bring the mutes in. It sounds really freaking weird, which I like. So let's go in here. So we got a new sound. We're gonna add a new audio track. Let's click in here, turn that off, turn that to on. Go to input number 2. And we're gonna go back to our MIDI. Okay, so we can't hear anything. That's okay, because what I needed to do was, if we don't forget, turn our monitor to auto. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this one and I'm gonna mess around with the effects as I do it and record it, and then we're gonna call it a day, okay? So that sounds cool, that sounds weird. And we used our Juno synthesizer to sequence into our MPC Live 2 right here at Safeway. And I think they're closing up, so it's time for me to get out of here. But I appreciate y'all checking out. Like and subscribe. If you like what I'm doing, I got a link down below to a Google Meet. If you got any issues with your MPC Live 2, hooking it up to synthesizers, if you wanna be making beats faster, I'm here for you. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much.